Hey everybody, this is Sean from Goatee Productions.
And surprise, surprise, this is Silviu from Goatee Productions.
Hello Silviu, how you been?
Oh, not bad, how are you?
How is it being your first video that we're actually going to keep up on YouTube?
Strange. It's got a strange feeling to it.
Yeah, almost like you're going to make a mistake at any second now.
Almost like that.
Yeah.
So we're here today to talk about 0 times 10 to the C, a new game by Notch.
Yeah. You don't know who Notch is? Get out. I mean, he's the guy who made Minecraft, working on Scrolls, and founded the company Mojang. So it's a little guy on the internet right now.
Yeah, he's not too well known.
No.
Well, yeah. So 0 times 10 to the C, or at least we're assuming that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, it could be some kind of phonetics for something, or just a placeholder, which is what my guess is, or some inside joke, which is completely possible.
Yeah, it's not like they're known for self-referential stuff or anything
Oh,
like that.
definitely not. Oh,
No. So, so 0 times 10 to the C is it's almost like a future space game. But,
I think about it almost as a very space-like Minecraft, minus all the blocks.
that's an interesting way to describe it.
You could,
Definitely.
what it's basically about, and we're not going to get into the story right away because I know Silviu really enjoys talking about the story. It's basically you're on a ship. It's almost like a ship space simulator survival action game, because Mojang likes to think outside the box on everything they do.
Right. That being said, it's still a first-person game.
Yeah, it's first-person oriented. And
Right.
it might be third-person when you're flying the ship itself, but you're actually going to be walking around inside the ship to different places, like engine rooms and stuff. It's not going to be like closed in and scripted. It's going to be like a free roaming. You can walk around in any part of the ship you can fit into, really.
So, before going any further, just a quick bit of backstory. If you actually haven't heard about this yet, we're not going to go into too much detail, but just so you get a general idea. Because right now we just seem to be talking about ships and people and first-person games.
And also, there isn't that much detail. It's there's very little known about the game itself.
It's pretty much just a blurb on 0 times 10 to the C.com.
Yeah.
Right. It's the official website right now.
It almost looks like Minecraft Internet with the color scheme. But
It does.
I'm sure it's going to change.
I could definitely see it with the dirt background, but
Yeah.
in gray. Yeah. So, it's set in a parallel universe where the space race never ended.
The only difference about the parallel universe is that, though, everything else is exactly the same.
And as it turns out, a tiny quirk of calculations is someone apparently failed to convert to metric.
Yeah.
Which means that everyone was put to sleep for some unknown as of this point reason.
Like cryo sleep, basically.
In 1988, sorry.
Yep.
And woke up quite a considerable amount of time later in the year, and you'll have to forgive me if I go on and on with this one because it's a long one. The year 281,976,712,644 AD. So
Which
quite
is a considerable amount of time in the future.
yeah, it's a bit out there.
Yeah, just not too far. They might have smaller cell phones by then. Maybe.
Who knows? But what we can say in 1988, the cell phones were like bricks if they existed.
And they attached to cars. They did.
Yeah, they still have those. They're called car phones.
They're so bad.
Yeah, I know. So, it does seem to be that because this is set technically at the end of the universe, as it's put, it's going to be really different. It's a physics heavy game and a science heavy game, so it's
obviously very space heavy. But I think there's also going to be a portion of the game which is sort of soul survivor kind of stuff, because he said there's little to no civilization left anywhere. Basically, the only civilization left is the people who got frozen. That's about it. So it's going to be probably going to be a space game. It's probably also going to be post-apocalyptic. Possibly.
One thing that I actually just thought about now was if this is in the year 281 trillion, right, quite a bit away, as I don't know if you know, but scientists have predicted that our sun will end in about 5 billion years. Which, if this is going realistically, as it seems to be called, quote, realistically,
Right.
that means that they can't be on Earth when they all went to cryo sleep.
No.
Because the Earth would have been engulfed by the sun. So
They're
that's,
probably on ships when they went to cryo sleep. And now the main story is probably going to be them trying to find civilization or some kind of peace or rebuilding.
right, which would definitely make sense in this context because
Yeah.
it's a whole new beginning for everyone that's just after the space race, right? And if the space race did continue like this, who knows what advances in technology would have done to the rockets at the time? Maybe like cause like us to use resources of the Earth like at quite a considerable rate, which is why everyone's leaving.
Right. I'd also like to see if they were frozen in space on spaceships from 1988, what the spaceships would like if there's alien life in the game, how the ships are going to compare. Because 1988 spaceships probably less advanced than the year 281 trillion alien motherships.
Well, then again, that's all relative. It's like the Star Wars argument, where, to me, well, okay, no, but when I talk about Star Wars, do you consider that being in the future or the past?
I see where you're going with this, but I would consider that to be in the future. But if you look at Star Wars, that's really, really far in the past.
Exactly, because everyone knows in the opening credits you have a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and it's that long, long ago part. Even though they have all this advanced technology, it is still a long, long time ago.
Yeah, it could have all been lost.
Right. So that is definitely an interesting concept, but just considering that, even just that 281 trillion years have passed, even though it is still relative, there would probably be some race. I'm just assuming this would be an interesting thing. Possibly the main antagonist. That are the controllers, quote unquote. I don't know. Some kind of universe, or just some kind of antagonist. Because even though it is relative, right? The time in a universe like this, and like the advancement of technology, that is still a good chunk of time. And any race that still survived that far must have been proficient with technology.
Yeah. I personally don't. I think the antagonist isn't going to be any specific person. I think it's going to be like there's a bunch of different ships that are sent up, and then when everybody wakes up, everybody's going to need supplies from everybody else. So it's either going to be very peaceful between people, or unfortunately, how the human race is, probably be a war against none other than others from the human race.
And considering that this is going to be primarily multiplayer, as far as you can tell, it might not be that peaceful between other people.
No,
because,
probably not.
Yeah, because I don't know, but I know that in most just MMOs and even just online games, people are not that friendly to each other.
No, they aren't. No, I
But,
play Minecraft, and I'd finish doing my redstone stuff, and I'd have somebody show up and like dump water down there or something, or stab me, and then pour water everywhere.
Yeah, but then you're usually an admin and can just ban their house.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
By the way. Back onto the actual gameplay. The ships have something very, very interesting. The computers on them are actual computers. It's an actual working 16-bit computer on the ship. It's a functioning... It's an emulated computer. Like, I'm sure everybody's played an emulated game once in a while, like NES on their computer. It's like that. It's like having a really, really low-tech computer. It's a 16-bit computer.
It's Mojang seems to be pretty good at that kind of thing.
Yeah.
As we all know, that's a lot of people have built computers or very complicated systems in Minecraft out of Redstone. I know that you have as well.
Yeah, I've created up to an 8-bit, and that just takes up an absolute ton of space. But I can do smaller stuff with just locks and stuff. It's all binary.
Yeah, no, not me. I can't. I'm a dunce when it comes to that kind of thing. I had to get Sean to make, even the simplest of locks, combination locks for me in my multiplayer server. But enough about how I fail. It seems like it's a very big part of the game. This computer that's in your ship.
Yeah, what it is it's a 16-bit computer that you can program to do whatever you want, and it's going to be. I know Commodore 64 was 64-bit, but it's the way the computer looks, and there's probably going to be a screenshot on the screen now, if I'm not lazy, which I might be. It looks a lot like the Commodore 64 did, and I've actually worked with Commodore 64s before I got like a real computer about 11, 12 years ago. The ship runs on a fixed wattage CPU. It says it's basically every action you do is going to drain energy, but it's all going to drain the same amount, like firing weapons, putting up shields, or deploying landing gear or shooting pods or whatever you're going to be doing. It's all going to have the same amount of energy drain. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to almost have a survival aspect, and like I said, you're going to be walking around first person on your ship, so you can type in the computer, program it to do what you want it to do, and then you can go walk along the ship and do errands that you might need to do, maybe fuel the engines or something. I don't know.
Personally, I hope that the actual interface system is fairly simple, because I have also had experience with Commodore 64 back in my time as well. It was just watching a friend used to play a couple games on it.
Yeah.
But I just hope it's user-friendly for, the people like me out there that don't know how to program save their lives. And the survival part of it, if there is something like that, that'd be fairly interesting.
Yeah.
Because you would have to rely on other people, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, with multiplayer, you could probably, it's gonna be a little bit like Minecraft. If you go on a vanilla Minecraft server now, you could either go around and fight other people, or you could team up and pool your resources and safeguard yourself against others. It could be a little bit like that, where you could sort of form an alliance, or you could kind of take people out. If it's all like a huge, like one huge server, which is what it's looking like, instead of a bunch of little ones, it's gonna be one huge Mojang run server,
Which would be ridiculous.
Yeah, but look at World of Warcraft. Right, there's gonna eventually be 2 or maybe 4 factions that are gonna take up most of the game, so you'd probably have to join one of them after a while.
What are you referring to? Player-made factions?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be interesting. That would be an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, that'd be a very interesting thing to have.
Because everything off the CPU in the game uses fixed wattage, which I'm not sure what the context is here, but
I gave a rough estimate.
Right. It might be better to actually pool your resources together with other people, and try to work together just to defend yourselves, rather than going on the offensive against others.
Yeah, it'd probably take less energy to go on the defensive and maybe flee. Right? It's also got like a ship building. Like you build your ships, and it's probably it's probably gonna be a little bit more dumbed down, but it's probably gonna be. Think of Minecraft minus the blocks, essentially. And it's gonna be like you building a ship, but it'll actually work.
Which seems pretty interesting. It seems like it's got a lot of things in it. It's pretty much everything. I mean, it's got the macroscopic shipbuilding portion of Space Race.
Yeah.
Or Space Battle.
Yeah.
Part of it. It's got the FPS part or not FPS,
if you're
first person aspect to it.
If you're captain of the ship, it could even have like RTS micromanagement kind of stuff. So it's basically it says it could seamlessly go down onto planets. So like Google Earth, zoom into a planet and just land there, right? So essentially, the genre of this game is, well, space sim, RPG, first-person shooter, RTS, Google Earth, survival, multiplayer. Yeah.
And shaping up to look pretty good.
Yeah, considering we don't have a lot of information, it's really good. Anyways, that's all the time we got to talk about it today. My name's Sean from GoT Productions.
I'm Silviu, also from GoT Productions.
And, leave your opinions down in the comments below. Also, if you want to see future topics that we can talk about, leave those in the comments or even give us a private message. We read them all. So, anyways, see you guys next time.
See ya.